start.
Yeah.
I was saying James Earl
Holmes.
Jones.
I kind of like the Chiefs, man.
Yeah.
They play tonight.
James.
Earl, what's his name?
James. Yeah.
Oh, the one with the deep breath.
Get this
Yeah.
It popped up on my news. Oh, is it? Everybody here?
You find your glasses, Mary? Yep.
These the cheap ones. Now I got some $350. These
Where'd
these
you
from
put 'em?
Dollar Tree.
Where'd you put them?
I wasn't used to handling them. I have them in a really nice case. The Dr. Pooh, the new doctor, he fixed me. He had a hard time because I had LASIK surgery and he couldn't balance my eyes out. And so he finally, and I had to go apologize. And I said, you know, my dollar ones work pretty good. He said, but I said, I'm so sorry. I did insult.
You're insulting him.
I did. And James Earl Jones died. That's what.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember the one when we went to the literacy conference. Tyson was there too, I think, that day. He actually showed what it sounded like when he talked without a script. He stutters. You couldn't understand what we're ready to say. And then he picked up the script and he read it. He said, "This is who I am." Oh, we're ready. Good evening, everyone. Our meeting is officially open. At this time, we will have a prayer and a pledge.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you this afternoon thanking you for this day and the beauty of this day. We thank you for the opportunity to gather here tonight. Lord, inviting your presence here, Lord, and we ask you for a wisdom tonight pertaining to all of the details, Lord, pertaining to the welfare and the prosperity and of our city and ultimately our community, Lord. We thank you for all of your blessings, Lord, and we give you all of the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening once again, everybody. So glad that you could join us for this meeting. At this time, we don't have any comments from the audience. Okay. Council comments? You can say, you had a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mayor and council kind of been weighing on me a lot of what we've been doing here in our city. Being that I've been at the table, at some of the tables has been placed before me. But I've something has been on my heart and on my mind, and I do want to share with the community. And this is my opinion in general. In my opinion, there's been a lot of misleading, let's see if I can get in this mic here. In my opinion, there's been a lot of misleading information on social media platforms such as Facebook posts, newspaper, radio ads. And as a city council representative of Precinct 3, I would be doing a disservice as a citizen of Precinct, to the citizens of Precinct 3 and the city of Crockett by not being transparent or clear about the issues revolving around Crockett Economic Development Corporation and all the Crockett Economic Development Corporation and all the possibilities of who will be able to use the 1.5% sales tax and all of the possibilities of how the sales tax can be used and if these uses would be legal. I would like to know, I know I've been asked a lot of my constituents, they have questions because of the fact that a lot of things have been posted on Facebook and the council has not responded to anything. We have not given any clarity, any facts, or anything like that. And people are taking what's posted on social media and what's said on the radio, they're taking it as gospel. Well, when we don't, as the council, don't reflect what's right, what's correct, what's just, the people take the misinformation and they use it to make their unjust decisions because of the fact that some people have an agenda. Those posts and those radio ads and some things are placed there because they want the misinformation to go out because those persons have an agenda. Now, we know, and as I've been doing my research, we know that, and I think I spoke from that podium before when I said that they had been a lawsuit, I guess, filed against the city before. In case that we don't recall, it's been because of the same issues, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, well, I'm making my comment.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
No, just-
So what I'm saying is I want clarity, not just for me. I want clarity for Precinct 3 because they've been coming to me, asking me questions. And those are questions that I have answers to. So what I'm asking, and I'll put this in perspective, I'm asking our city manager to set up or organize a town hall meeting for Precinct 3. Now, Mr. Johnson or whoever else that would like to come along to add their precinct in with it so they can be informed. I would like this information to go out to them. I would like them to be able to dialogue with the Texas Executive Economic Development Executive Director, which I believe his name is Carlton Swab. I want you to get in touch with him. Also, not just he, but also the state controller, because we want to understand how the taxes or the sales tax can be used to lower taxes, property taxes, and who will this actually benefit. So these are questions that I've had. I don't have clarity, didn't get clarity at our last meeting, was asking you guys for clarity, had even asked on the agenda, and you'll see it here written in the agenda where I had asked for clarity on that because I asked to, hold it for further conversation with an attorney, and that hasn't been done. Another thing, I just want to make sure that we're transparent. And that's something that we're not doing, and we're not being transparent because of the fact that I would like for not just my precinct, Precinct 4, Precinct 1, Precinct 5, to ask your council members, what do they think about terminating economic development? What are their thoughts on it? So we have just a handful of people that's, been doing this, been targeting, economic development since way back. So we're looking at the future of this city. And so I have grandchildren, I have family, I know you have grandchildren, everyone has families that are coming up. I won't be here for a long period of time. And so I'm looking out for the best interest of my family, my friends, and the whole city of Crockett. So that's my concern. I was raised here, grew up here, know just about everybody here, just about everybody. But we have new people that has come into our city. They're not even aware of what's going on. They have caught in on the tail end of all of the rigmarole that's been going on social media. And then the thing that goes on social media is just a continuous. It's just repeated. And so when you repeat something so many times, and I think I said it from there, you'll begin to believe it. I mean, I don't know if that's millennials or what, but you'll begin to believe it. But I do, and I am asking that the city manager set up a town hall meeting.
Okay. Well,
Mr. Johnson.
okay, at this time,
I would like that to happen.
You stated.
Also,
Okay.
At
So,
this time,
yes,
we're
ma'am,
not going,
yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
you
I've
make the
stated that, but I
statement,
just want to
but
make
that
sure
has to be a
that I
council
want to make,
decision.
yes, ma'am,
Okay.
council decision?
Yeah, I mean.
So I'll make a
I mean,
motion.
no, we're not doing motion here. This is
I'll make a
not,
motion that it be placed on the
This is-
agenda
okay.
for October.
right now, this is not a motion item
Yeah.
in terms of.
But last time
It's-
I was
no,
told
no.
that I could make a motion to place an item on the agenda.
Okay, you are making a comment right now?
Yes, ma'am.
And this was supposed to just be generic. You said you just wanted to share about
Yes,
the
ma'am.
opening.
Mhm.
Okay, and what my concern was,
Mm-hmm.
you can't give directives to anybody as a single member of what you would like.
Mm-hmm. That's why I made a motion.
Okay,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
what is your motion?
My motion is to place it on the agenda
What
to.
on the
Hold
agenda?
on. Place for Mr. Angelstein to set up and organize a town hall meeting for precinct 3.
Okay, that
Ms.
needs to be,
Johnson?
to have a discussion among, that needs to be a discussion among the council of how it's done. Now, you.
Now, we
you-
can
you-
discuss how it's done, but we need to place it on the agenda to discuss.
But it
that. Am
wouldn't
I
be
correct?
directed to him, it wouldn't be his responsibility directly. I mean, that would be a discussion. If you want to discuss, your motion maybe to be to discuss how we can open the community up and share our community deal, that would be for one person to identify, it may not be John that actually brings the presentation.
No,
So
I'm not
just
asking
I
John
mean,
to
that's
bring it
what
up.
you were just
I was
sounded
asking
like.
him to set it up to where he could, I mean, I can make the phone calls, that's not a problem.
Okay, no, I'm
If I need to make
saying,
the phone calls, but my understanding is that my position is to give direction, and then John takes it from there, but if not, I don't have a problem with setting up.
I think we need a discussion among the council to discuss what you want to have
Okay,
discussed. That
so
would
if
be
we
a-
place
that
it on the agenda, we could discuss it, am I correct, John?
If you can ask to have it placed on the
That's
agenda.
what I was asking.
And then it would have to go through a vote, but right now,
Well, that's what I,
okay,
The
so,
main thing is if it's informational purposes only, what the city has to be, without getting into too much response, as this is a comment section, if we put it on there as a discussion to provide informational presentation to the public, but we cannot campaign for or against. So almost anything when we're talking about things, we're weighing in our personal opinion. So we have, if it was just a strictly, maybe we bring in an attorney for strict statutory
No, this-
requirements and guidelines, but not the city saying we're for or against. It's citizens initiated, and it's a citizen election, so we can't campaign for or against it.
I'm not
As long as
campaigning.
that's not the case,
That's-
if the mayor agrees, we can put it on the agenda.
Well, that's not the case. I'm not campaigning for or against. I'm campaigning for information. So the thing of it is a lot of people are not informed. They don't know that some people are not informed that economic development does exist. They don't know why it exists, what its purpose is. So my thing of it is we need to be information. We need to give information. I mean, knowledge is power. So if you allow the people to know what economic development is, what its purpose is, I mean, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
no, I'm saying,
Yes, ma'am.
no, I'm just saying in terms of
Okay.
the source of economic development, it seemed like that would be suited for economic development to present who they are and what they do. Even though,
No, no.
That's
We
what,
have- But see, what it is
you mentioned it in your
Yeah, but what I'm
your
saying is,
presentation
and not just that, the
document.
sales tax as well. So I'm asking that if we could get the state controller, to a representative for them, but we need someone here that's knowledgeable, that's not in the city, that doesn't have ties with everyone, to where we could, give our
Okay, so
input.
now,
So that's
okay,
where I'm.
the only
at.
thing that I was saying that to keep it broad enough,
Mm-hmm.
that you want an outside entity to come in and discuss the items related to economic development.
Yes, ma'am, and I actually
Okay, I
stated
mean, in
those
terms-
entities, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Which
well,
would be
you
the
can,
state
you can
tax-
suggest them, but
Okay.
they may or may not come to part in terms of how it's
Okay,
done.
but we as the city, we need to be more transparent. Because if you have people out there asking, well, what are they gonna do with the sales tax? Who's gonna get the sales tax? Well, if the state gets it, are we gonna be able to get it? Are we gonna be able to
But
use
that's-
it? So the thing of it is we have a lot of questions that are going on here in this city. And y'all are aware that
Okay,
those
at
questions are
this,
being asked.
yeah, okay, just to bring an item to it, okay. So what you're looking for is an outside entity to do information? as related to
ma'am.
economic development?
Yes, ma'am. Information, dialogue.
No, I mean, no, I'm just saying, no.
Go
In
ahead.
terms of just a motion, you would like an outside entity
Okay.
to provide information
Mm-hmm.
related to economic development
Yes, ma'am.
and the sales tax.
And sales tax, so we can get clarity.
Okay,
so I
I
can
mean,
get
just- I
clarity.
mean,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
for the sales
'Cause I asked that
tax.
on, when we had our
Okay,
meeting.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're just gonna narrow it down to it.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so, what you're asking right now, to put a motion to the floor to bring in an outside entity to discuss economic development and sales tax.
Okay,
And
Well,
Why don't we
we
just get
can't-
our,
we-
why don't we just get our attorney to come do it?
what?
the
Why don't we just
attorney-
get our attorney
We
to
got our
come do it?
attorney to do it in the meeting, in the executive session. I didn't get anything out of it.
Okay, well, that
What
would
do
be
you mean?
the
Because
only.
You didn't get
evidently-
nothing out of the
No,
last?
sir, no, sir. No,
Okay,
no,
wait.
no, no, sir, no, sir, because evidently,
It's not-
I
wait,
don't
hold-
know if
hold
it
on.
already been discussed previously, and you got a better understanding than I did.
Excuse me. Okay, we're we're trying to phrase.
Yes, ma'am.
What you're saying. And that's what we're gonna do at this point. At this point, if you would like to do the motion, and I think you can do it at this point, it would take a second, and then it would take a vote. Okay?
Okay, so so what I'm asking
Okay,
is.
just put it in a
Okay.
motion. the
Okay,
form
so
of
what
a
I'm
motion.
asking is, if I want to, if we need a town hall meeting for my precinct. So are we doing it for the whole public?
Okay,
or
no,
what?
your motion said, you talked about, you said to provide
Yes,
an
I did-
open meeting.
Yes,
a town meeting.
yes.
To discuss, and it would be for everybody. It wouldn't be
Okay.
limited to one. Is that what that's what you said?
Well, no, I
earlier?
said, well, I was.
But you
I was
said my
actually-
whole, you said
Well,
the
I was
whole-
asking, yes, I was asking for precinct 3. I was,
Okay.
because I'm the precinct
So-
3 representative.
In turn of just one precinct, or you
Well, I
saying
mean,
an
it's
open
open.
town?
I mean,
No,
it's
I'm just
open.
saying, so it wouldn't be for one, so I would like you to put it in a,
I mean, it's open that if they would like to.
no,
do
I would
it.
like you to put it at an
Okay.
open town hall. you
Okay,
know,
open
for
town hall
so
meeting,
that-
yes, for the upcoming items that will be placed on the ballot, yes.
No, that wasn't what you. we
Well,
didn't
it's
do
the same
ballot.
thing.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, we didn't do
we're
the
actually
ballot.
talking about economic
Because we
development.
can't go for or against in that. You said
Well,
to
not,
explain.
well, he's gonna.
So when you go to the
he's gonna
ballot,
have
that's a
questions.
different
Well,
thing.
not, okay, well, I won't
Okay.
say the ballot, but.
Okay, well, say, I mean,
okay, the
voice
economic-
it like you said.
Okay, just information on, for economic development, which will include dialogue, questions, and things such as that.
Yeah, yeah,
With
so-
with the Texas,
And the tax.
and the sales tax, tax,
Okay.
yeah, it's sales
Okay.
tax, I'm sorry,
Now.
yes.
So the motion. that we
Okay,
do-
let's try to
okay,
put the
is-
motion together
okay.
again.
Open town meeting.
Okay, open town hall meeting
Yeah.
that will include the city.
Information.
It would include
A
all
town hall.
precincts, a town
Yeah.
hall meeting that would include information on economic development, its use, its purpose, and the sales tax, its use and its purpose. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay,
Well, you need
and
a-
that was your motion.
That's my motion.
It's a motion on the table?
Can we table it, because I don't know what,
Okay,
I need
you
to-
can,
I need to see what's
you can
going
either,
on.
okay, you can either not second it, or if it doesn't have a second, it
Mm-hmm. Okay,
die
but
for
you can
lack of
explain
a
what's
motion.
going on. What's going
Okay.
on, Mr. Johnson? Well,
Okay, not doing
Explain
this,
what-
no,
what
no,
we
no,
do.
not
I don't
doing
know,
this.
You know what I'm saying? I need to know.
Okay, it's not a dialogue right
well, my
now.
understanding is, okay.
It's not a dialogue right now. Right now, it's a motion.
Mm-hmm.
And you did a counter motion with it, but right now, the only thing that has to take place is a second, and then a vote.
So we can table it?
That can be a
Bring it back
different
till I can
motion.
Find out what's going on?
Hey, I'll second that.
I don't think, I mean.
I think everybody needs to know. I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Everybody needs to
Now
know.
you're ready for a vote. All in favor? Okay, it carries. Okay, so it will be an agenda item on our next council meeting.
So that'd be an outside entity coming in and,
I'll reach out and try to bring in
okay?
comptroller's office, anybody that can come in and speak on
Sales tax.
the sales tax and the EDC and what would,
Yeah.
And that'd be better with that.
So when we get that clarity, then we're over and done with this.
Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay. Everybody good with that? Any more comments? Okay, thank you. And now we'll move to item number 1, our regular session, August 19, 2024. Has everyone had a chance to look over it?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, brings us to item number 2, our business. Consider and approve an ordinance by the City Council of the City of Crockett, Texas, authorizing the issuance, I'm not gonna get it, and sale of the City of Crockett, Texas, tax and revenue certificates of obligation Series 2024, levying a tax and providing for the security and payment thereof, and enacting other provisions related thereto. Okay, John?
Mayor and council, this is we've gotten to this point after, about 2 months worth of work after council in our budget workshops has approved us moving forward and getting financing for the refurbishment of our ladder truck to get that our ladder truck back in service, for replacing one of our fire engines and purchasing 4 police vehicles. And this is the method of obtaining those revenues. Due to the timeline, it got pushed out a little bit. We weren't able to get it done in time in order to have the debt issuance repayment to go on this budget year, but it will go on subsequent years. And Mr. Ben Rosenberg is here to explain a little bit more of that. After 45 days of posting this, we received today at about 11 o'clock is when we received the bids on this issuance, and we received 4 bids and came in considerably less than what we were expecting as far as our interest rates, and so our repayment improves, our interest rates improve, and so I'll let him go over that a little bit. And he's our financial advisor from U.S. Capital.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Mayor and Council. Ben Rosenberg again with U.S. Capital Advisors. Good to see everybody.
Yes, sir.
John called me earlier in the summer, looking to provide some financing for these projects. And because we wanted to have the debt go longer than 7 years, we had to do a certificate of obligation was the financing instrument, and that required the 45-day notice, and that's why we couldn't sell them until today. Aaron Roberts is with bond counsel firm Bracewell, is here to make sure we do everything legal. There's a bunch of things to sign. You're actually approving the borrowing of the $1.7 million tonight to pay for all those the police cars and the fire projects. So what I have here is the packet information. So what we've done here since I was here last, in this packet of information, there's a timetable. If you approve the certificate, the ordinance approving the certificates today, we'll have a bunch of things to sign. Erin will take that back, do all the legal stuff she has to do, get Attorney General approval, submit all the documents, Attorney General, get comptroller certify this, and then we'll have your money by the end of the month. And we will actually close on the transaction. You'll have your money for those projects. So since we were here last, on page 4, we affirmed the city's credit rating, so I have a copy of the credit rating there. We have a stable rating, single A stable rating, which is affirmed again. After that, we published the offering to the bond market. If you look at that on page 8 and 9, shows the Texas Bond Reporter, where the City of Crockett debt offering was offered to the bond market. And then on page 10 is the software tool that we use called Parity that advertises this to all the world, if you will, in the bond market. And as of this morning, on page 11, the bids came in. We had 4 different bidders signed up. These are national firms. So we had, and I don't have the names of all the syndicates, but I will share that with you next week. But there's probably 30 to 40 firms that participated and had access to bid on this transaction for the city of Crockett. And the bids were due at 11 a.m. and you can see how they came in the last couple of minutes. They all came. I'm sitting here at 10 o'clock this morning waiting for bids to come in, and they all came in at 10:53, 10:57, 10:59, and some seconds, last seconds till they came in. And then page 12 is what everybody's concerned about. What were the bids and what was the lowest bid price? The winning bidder is Robert Baird with a 3.57, we call total interest cost, or TIC. And you can see they were at least 10 basis points cheaper than the other 3 bidders. So that was a winning bid. We take those numbers, we key it into our software on page 13 that shows what we call the TIC check to make sure everything matches. On page 14 is their actual coupon and yields that they bid. They're what we call the reoffering yields on page 14. And then on page 15 shows all the people that are involved. I think when I came the first time and told you about the people and process and paperwork that are involved with, it's not just you going to a bank. It's all these people that are involved with all these different firms. Those are all the people, and she has all the paperwork that we're going to sign at the end. And then starting on page 16 shows what we call the final debt service numbers. These will be final set for the life of the debt. We're going to deposit the $1.7 million into your project fund, and that'll pay for all the projects and cover all the costs associated with this. On page 17 shows the adjusted TIC, so your actual adjusted TIC is 3.52265. And then on page, it shows that the annual debt service payments are on page 19, and then the semi-annual debt service payments are on page 20. So any questions about the process that we followed, the bids that came in, the lowest bid to Robert Baird, and the final debt service numbers? Any questions about those?
I got a question, man.
Sure.
Where we gonna get this money from?
Where is it going to come from?
Yes, sir.
So Robert Baird is what we call the underwriter. They're going to lend the city money. They're going to send us a check on it's actually a wire transfer, on September the 26th, and the money's going to go right to the city's bank account. So it's a bank. Robert
I mean,
Baird
who gonna pay it back?
the city.
That's how they.
We are
break it
out of the
down,
debt service.
Right.
Which we voted
So
on.
how we gonna pay it back?
Okay.
Taxes?
Good question. I have another handout. So, the city has 2 main sources of revenue. Main sources of revenue are property taxes and water sewer, right?
Say that again, our main revenue is what?
If you look at any city's revenue income statement, you have property taxes and water and sewer revenues. Those are the main 2 sources. You have sales taxes and fees, and your 2 big numbers are property taxes and water and sewer revenues. So, because these were all general fund expenses,
Yes, ma'am.
it was chosen or selected to pay for this with property taxes.
Yes.
And so we financed this over 15 years to minimize the effect on your property tax rate. Okay, so what I handed here is what we call a tax rate analysis. And if you look at the second page, it shows where do property taxes come from? Your assessed valuation, right? So if you look on page 2, back to 2002, we've been tracking your assessed valuation. And it started at $159,554,159 million, and it's grown in 2025 to $392 million. Total assessed valuation of all the property in the city. Okay, so if you look at that, over the last 10 years, that's averaging about a 4.9% growth level. The last 5 years, it's about 7.9%. So you have a nice steady increase. Now, there has been a couple of years where they were negative, right? But that's an average. So we took the current values and projected forward with a 2% growth for just 3 years. The life of the debt is 15, okay? So if you look at the next page, page 3, we take that current value, and you can see in yellow where we increase it for 2% for 3 years, and then we just left it flat. So just, we all felt that was a very conservative approach to your valuation growth. And before you can look at any new debt, we looked at your outstanding debt service that you pay from taxes already, and then added in the new debt and showed them your current tax rate for debt is 1.1425 cents. And the maximum that this will increase your debt is up to 16 cents, so 2 cents on the tax rate. Okay? So what does that mean to me as a homeowner? If you look at the last page, it shows if you have a $50,000 house, that's going to cost me, the taxpayer, $12 a year more. If your house is $100,000, that's $24 a year. So we felt that was not too much of a tax increase for what you're going to get for the services to the city. And if your values go up higher, that increase could be less. Now, if your values go down, that increase each year. But each year, when you set your tax rate, you know what your payment. Your payment is now fixed for the next 15 years. That's fixed. The one thing you don't know is what your values are going to be. So, but based on your history, the last 20 years of history, we felt a 2% increase in values was a very conservative estimate on what it would cost, of what your values are going to do. We don't know that for sure, though. We live in an unknown world. But that was a very conservative estimate, and hopefully it won't be any more than 2 cents on your values.
And this is for police cars and
fire trucks.
fire trucks.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with the police cars we have now?
We've covered it in the budget.
We've already been through that.
We did it in the budget part of it.
We talked to your police
I'm
chief.
shocked.
I'm just defining
Yeah.
that.
I'm
No,
just
you
saying,
just
we
doing
keep
the
raising
process.
taxes,
This
man.
is- yeah, this
Some
is what we
people
voted on.
ain't got it like that to keep raising taxes on everything, man. We steady raising these taxes. Every time we come up here, it's taxes. People don't have it like that right now.
That was what we covered in the budget. You voted on
We're going,
Without
it.
the
Yeah.
fire.
We're not going any different from what was voted in.
fire truck like they
I'm just
explained
trying
last
to get
time.
some understanding, because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time
You
I'm
were
up here, it's taxes. What if you got 3 or 4 properties?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm understand. I just need to understand, man.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
that
know,
was,
man.
And just to give you a heads up, I'm going to be back here next week to talk about water and sewer projects that you pay for out of water and sewer revenues, not taxes. That's how you plan to pay for them. And with all that barring, we don't show any increase needed for those. But this one, you should need a small increase to your, because you can pay this from water and sewer revenues and not increase taxes if you'd like. But our plan was to pay it from taxes because it was general fund expenditures.
We don't want water.
So the next borrowing would not raise your rates, but this would require, if you're just going to pay for it with property taxes, would require about 2 cents on the tax rate.
Okay.
Do you need more clarity on the fire trucks and stuff? Like we
I would
discussed
like to
during.
have, man, because
Would it be good if maybe we provide a little bit more clarity, a recap of our fire truck situation?
Right now?
And, I mean,
Man, I'm
if-
sorry,
if
some of
we're
y'all-
not- if we're not gonna get.
some of y'all got it like that, you know?
Yeah.
this-
I understand where y'all coming
Okay.
from.
Well, what it was,
So
no,
now
what it
it's
was,
worth the
oh,
investment
okay.
time.
So, if,
We have our fire chief.
okay, yeah, he explained it here, but would you like to hear him do it again? I mean, we did the budget, that's what they're talking about, that same.
Yep, so,
What we're looking to replace is a 30-year-old truck. That truck, the parts and stuff is obsolete for it to get it repaired. That truck we bought brand new in '94, and it served us to 2024, and that's been 30 years of service. We did go out for grants for these trucks. We didn't get picked, but to give you the cost of a fire truck 3 years ago was $650, and it's already up to right at $1 million now. That ain't all the bells and whistles. You can get them on up to 1.5 and all that. That's talking on our engine that needs to be replaced. I mean, like the tank is starting to leak and it's a steel tank and this part you can't get to replace it. The pump is, it's our second out truck. If there's 2 structure fires, which does happen in the city occasionally, that would be our second truck that would pump for a house fire. On the ladder truck is a 2001. We bought it brand new for $500,000. To buy a brand new truck to replace that is $1.7 million. So we're getting it refurbished to last us another 15 to 20 more years. So we're actually taking the old truck and refurbishing it. And we also get points through our ISO rating. We're ISO 2 for the city of Crockett, which saves taxpayers money on their homeowners insurance. If that truck, they find, or if they come back and grade us and that truck's not in service, we're gonna lose a lot of points off of that ladder truck, and people's homeowner insurance will go up. So that's why we're trying to get it now. We're not asking for a new truck for that one, just have it refurbished so we can get another 10, probably I'm looking about 15, 20 years, because it's not gonna be the first down truck every time. So it's gonna last us longer than it did the first time.
Right now, it's out of service, and we can't, if you needed the ladder truck right now, we're not allowed to respond with it or operate it as a ladder truck. We're not allowed to send
Prime
firefighters up
example,
in
the
there.
hotel catch on fire. We cannot put, if there's people trapped in the upstairs, we can't use that ladder truck because it didn't pass its annual test due to its age and stuff like that. So we use that ladder truck just to say how important it is to us. The guy that got electrocuted on the square several years back was able to get up there and get him. Out here, the wood plants we got on the loop, you know, if that big stuff catch on fire, you gotta have big fire, a lot of water, and we can use the ladder truck to spray water.
Right.
And is there anything that you got a question about on that? Like I said, replacing a 30-year-old truck,
Right.
and the price every year, they're already like, hey, you know, if we don't hurry up, you're looking at $1.2 million for that $958,000 or $989,000 truck. They're constantly going up. Just in the last 3 years, like I said, we applied for a grant. I think Kennard got it, but we didn't. And like I said, that was just 3 years ago. That was a $650,000 truck. Same truck, same design, everything. That's how it's already increased. So the longer we wait, the more the price is going to go. It's not going to get cheaper. So like I said, that's replacing. It's not like replacing a 10-year-old truck. We get our money worth out of the truck.
Okay.
Well, I think the balance is that home insurance, I don't know if you probably, it went up some this year, but
Yeah,
you
our
said that
ISO
if we
rating
don't
helps.
have the fire, it could impact our home insurance.
Yes, it could raise our ISO rating higher, which was in turn would cost the homeowners more money in the long run. So this is actually getting that truck refurbished. We get a lot of points in that point system of the ISO rating, and that ladder truck is the main contributor to that to bring it down.
And the homeowners is monthly.
Yes.
So that's where you'll see a bigger increase, even more so than the long range increase.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
man.
not just because we want a new fire truck. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
thank
time
you.
to replace and stuff like that. So.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Any other questions?
Any? Okay. Well, we like the ratings.
Every day.
Yeah. Ain't nobody did that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, concerns? Can we get a motion in?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and second, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Is that it? No, got one more. Wow. Item number 3, consider and approve election service contract with Houston County. This is what we've been doing last
Yes,
couple.
ma'am. This will be the second or third election that we've contracted the county to do the elections. It's actually worked out cheaper with the city combining our efforts with the county. And it also combines our polling places. You can go to one place and not have to
Go to
go
two.
across the town or go to 2 different places. And we also have the benefit of the electronic ballot machines to help us on the ballots. And this is the contract that allows them to run the election for us.
And I think last year went a lot better because you would have to leave one place and go over to somewhere else, and most people don't make it to the second place. The first one you go is just gonna be the only one get a vote. I know that's not nice, but it's reality because they're not balanced in where they were. And last year was a whole lot. And even the way the ballots were set up were easier to manage. But anyone has any question, concerns? Can we get a motion?
I make a motion to approve the election service contract.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor? Motion carries. And,
Mayor, I got something real quick, please.
okay.
Before we finish, I move that we place on the next city and EDC agenda to discuss the acts on employment that our EDC director decided to hire without board and council approval. We should also discuss the act of whether he acted in violation of bylaws, policy, and state law. This is new position, was not approved in his budget. Was it posted? Who interviewed and decided to hire him? Who decided his salary and job description? We need answers.
Yeah.
Well, that was in the paper, wasn't it? Was that in the paper?
What we're,
That
okay,
you
it's
just
a,
read, was that in the messenger?
Wait a minute.
he has a motion. Okay, it's, okay, now, I'm not sure.
It just needs to be put on the next city and EDC.
You're talking about
agenda.
on the city council agenda to discuss the items that you listed?
Yes.
Okay, and, yeah, okay, there's a motion on the floor. Can we get a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor? Oppose? Oppose? Okay, motion carries. All right,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
okay.
I second.
Mike, all they have to do is put in a freedom of information request, right?
No,
I said, all they have to do is put in a freedom of information request, correct?
no, that wouldn't probably give what you want. I mean, that
I
would
mean,
be,
you read what they know.
you can't put it in. I'm just saying, you can't do it in a open.
You're a councilman, why you just an actor?